All right, we're going to do a run on Shape of Dreams today using Bismuth. So if you've been living under a rock, this is an insane roguelike, and I noticed that the content for the game was lacking a little bit, and I've been playing this game a ton. So I thought, what better than to put some of my own content out there and using the Lenovo Legion Go 2. So let me know if you like this format of recording. I thought it'd be something quite unique and different, obviously recording the Lenovo but having the clean audio out, so hopefully it should be pretty cool. So what we're going to do is with Bismuth, because she's really easy to play, you do have to unlock her. I think you need to get a character up to 900 movement speed, if I remember rightly. I could do a video on that in the future, but yeah, essentially with Bismuth she can auto attack anything that's nearby, so the book automatically attacks any enemies, which is obviously great. And then there's also another ability that you can use that will even cast your abilities for you, so you literally only need to worry about dashing and your positioning, which I think in this game, specifically Shape of Dreams, I think that's perfect because there's a lot to learn and there's a lot going on screen, especially when it gets quite hectic. So I think it's worth getting into Bismuth quite quickly. I will say it will make you quite soft in comparison to the other characters because they don't have as much automation. You can obviously succumb some of that by having sort of fast triggering on a pad or something like that. But yeah, no other character can auto cast as easily across the board as Bismuth can. So great starting place for anybody trying to learn the game. So without further ado, let's go through the build of some of the stuff that we've got, and then we can get straight into the run. We're going to be doing it on Nightmare, so the hardest difficulty on the main mode. So yeah, let's see what we've got. So starting off, we're going to go with 2 Pure Soul abilities. You can like mix and match them with Bismuth, but specifically for what we're doing, we're actually just going to use 2 of the same. So with these, we've got fires 3 soul missiles at nearby enemies. Each missile explodes, dealing 108% light damage to enemies and slowing their movement speed, which is great. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with every single main kind of modifier for those as well to kind of boost them up. So, and these will synergize with some other stuff that we'll talk about in a moment. So we've got the diverse topic. So each soul missile from Pure Soul gains a random element effect, which is cool. And that's going to play really nicely into another ability that we've got, which I'll go showcase in a mo. Then we've got undervolting. So Pure Soul's soul missile count is reduced by 2, but its cooldown is reduced by 50%, which is huge. But then we're going to increase Pure Soul's cooldown by 2 seconds, but the number of soul missiles also increases by your attacks per second. So if Bismuth does not have multiple copies of the same traveling memory, the cooldown is not increased, but we have got both of them, so we are going to unfortunately take that cooldown increase, but we are going to be able to scale the amount of missiles that we fire based off of our attack speed. So if you haven't guessed already, this is going to be an attack speed build, and that's what we're going to go for. So starting off in the destruction path then, so we're going to go with speed reading for increased attack speed by 15%, max stacks. We're then going to go for gathering storm. So attack speed is reduced by 10%, but it increases by 1.6% each time you level up. And you can get anywhere sort of between 15 and 20 levels. So, you know, you're going to succumb that negative, and it's a good way to kind of keep constantly building momentum throughout the game. And there's also chaos is later on choices that if we want to increase our overall level up, then we can further increase in gathering storm. And again, there are a lot of things in this game that necessarily by name don't jump out to you straight away. So as we get to those, I'll explain where, like, you know, chaos and stuff is that will help. Then we're going to just go for the flat hurricane attack speed by 10.5%. Elementalist, so all damage you deal to enemies affected by all 4 elements is increased by 24%. So you know when we were looking at the ability earlier where we had it so that we did every single element with soul missile, we're going to be firing so fast that we're going to basically apply all of those different elements, and therefore we will trigger this bonus a hell of a lot. Then we're going to go for self-writing story, so increases memory haste by 20, and most memories will be automatically cast during combat. So again, this is another one of those abilities specifically to Bismuth where you can just automatically cast. There are some negatives to it. For example, if you take ultimates, you might cast ultimates when you don't want to cast. They will only cast them in battle, but sometimes when you're literally only just getting into the battle, you'll just notice that you'll cast your ultimate straight away. So this is one of those sort of abilities that you have to kind of take knowing that you have it, and you have to build around it. There aren't many abilities that you would want to pass up because you've got this, but I just want to mention that there probably are going to be some. Next up then in the next tree then, so we've got the Wicked Vitality. So basic attacks restores 0.70% of your max health on hit, and this healing is increased by 150% on critical strike. So basically we're really after it for the restoring health, because we're going to be attacking so fast. But if we do get some opportunities to do crit hit chance, then we'll take it and we'll benefit from that too. We've got restore 2.5% of your max health whenever you kill an enemy. Obviously, we're going to be killing a lot of enemies, so we want to heal. And then lastly, increases maximum health by 24 each time you level up. Bismuth is really bad for health, so this is going to kind of help you build up a little bit more health as you level up through the run. All right, and then in the last tree then, so we've got gain 1 to 4 books of knowledge for every boss you defeat. Each book grants a random stat equivalent to a common grade chaos, 25%. And if Bismuth does not have multiple copies of the same traveler memory, the amount of stats gained is increased by 50%. So this is just insane. Like, it is random what you get, but essentially you're just building up power as you go through the run anyway. So it's just a bit of a no-brainer. Really, really good ability to have on Bismuth. Then we've got gain gold equal to 30% of dream dust obtained when dismantling memories or essences. We're going to be dismantling a lot of stuff that we don't want. That happens every single run, and it just makes sense that you want to get the equivalent, or 30% of the equivalent from dream dust as gold, which is just going to help you be able to buy more choices as you see more shops. And then we got when chaos is attained as a reward, there is a 20% chance to gain 1 additional chaos. This is OP. There's loads of opportunities for a run to get chaos, so that 20% chance is going to at least proc once, and if you're lucky, and in most runs it happens multiple times, which is great. Increases chaos options by 1 and grants 25 gold when using chaos. So again, we're kind of focusing on that chaos. We get more options on chaos, and then we're getting even more gold when we use it. It's just a no-brainer. Increases the quality of the first essence you equip by 130%. Now, this one, I use this because we are going to go into this run with a Deja Vu. I will quickly explain what Deja Vu is before we start the run, just so you're aware of it. But this is the reason why we take that, because we are having an essence that we spawn with straight away. Then we've got gain 110 gold at the start of your adventure. You don't necessarily need to take this. You could just use like anything that you want. I quite like the extra bump in gold. But to be honest, if I wanted to be a little bit more ballsy, I'd probably go with a level 4 memory and interchange between them two, whatever I fancy, or anything else. There's lots of other different options that you can use as well out there. So, for example, getting gold on critical attack. Again, we mentioned earlier on the restore health for the critical damage. We could really try and get that crit hit chance build if we wanted to. That would be a pretty good one to take. But yeah, there are definitely lots of different options, and I think this tree is the most flexible with Bismuth in terms of what you want to go. And then lastly, we've got defeat a mini boss has a 100% chance to grant a random essence. Again, OP. You fight loads of mini bosses, getting more essences just gives you more chance to kind of get a build that you want that works for you. Cool. The only thing we didn't go over is obviously the dash. So if we do get opportunities to increase dash stacks, then we will, because that will allow us to then increase movement speed with 75%. And obviously it increases attack speed for 100% for 1 second. So it might not seem a lot, but obviously when you get to attack really quickly for just 1 additional second, it's good. So happy days. The only last thing that we didn't go over was the Deja Vu element. So with Deja Vu specifically, you can go into a run when you've completed a run with different abilities that you've used. Now, as you can see, there's lots and lots that I haven't unlocked, mostly because I kind of gravitate towards specific abilities, and so they kind of keep cropping up quite a lot more. So, for example, you know, each time you attack an enemy, the cooldown of this memory is reduced by 0.4 seconds. It's so strong. It's such a strong essence. I use that most of the time. At the moment, we've got currently for 5 seconds after casting this memory, attack damage is increased by 15%. Again, that's another pretty good one. Another one of my main favorites is the fine essence of adventure. So whenever you move to a new place, increase the quality of another essence equipped to this memory by 10% and gain 19 gold. That is really, really strong as well. And there's lots and lots of good options as well that you can go into a run. But for the sake of this run, let's go in with the fine essence of adventure, because you get gold and you can just increase the quality of an essence constantly each time you're moving around the map. So really, really strong, and we're going to go with that. There is actually one final thing I didn't think about that I think would be quite good if I remember where it is. And I believe it's actually on this tree. And, yeah, it's actually this one. So I'm going to use that instead of the starting with a random memory. And the reason why this book I actually think is broken specifically for Bismuth is because you start your adventure with our story essence. Its quality increases by 50% every time you defeat 75 enemies, and it is completed when quality reaches 500%. And when completed, this essence increases Bismuth's ability power and attack damage by 30%, and enhances all buffs from distorting sprint by 50%. So that's the dash that you're getting an increase on 50%. The reason why this is so broken is because, and this is in my opinion, you'll get chances in the run where you can decrease quality of essences, and you can also revert an essence back to 0 quality to get dust back from it. And what happens with this specific ability is that if you haven't quite reached the 500% threshold yet, if you take away quality from this, it will still continue building up, because it builds up until you hit that 500%. So it makes every single sense to reduce its amount of quality whenever the opportunity arises. Obviously, once you get it to 500%, you'd think to yourself, oh, okay, well, if I reduce it, then it won't have the ability power and attack damage bonus and enhances and all that stuff. No, that's not true. You can still reduce it even after you hit 500% because it's already unlocked its full power. So it's basically just free rewards. It's so strong. Honestly, hopefully we get to demonstrate it in this run, and you'll just see just how good this ability actually is. It's crazy, crazy good. So we're going to use that. And as I said, we're going to go for Deja Vu. Again, we're going to go on the Nightmare difficulty. And in terms of the Lucid Dreams, we haven't got too many on here. But essentially, we're going to use all Mirage skins replaced with Armor Mirage skins, which grant no special effects. So basically, there are lots of different Mirages that you can get when you're picking kind of positives and negatives. You'll see it when we go into a run. But this basically forces them to be Armor Mirages, which just makes the run a bit easier. Each time you start a new world, choose a random torment. So again, you get more Stardust with that. Then we've got increase the number of monsters by 50%, which again, get more Stardust for that, which is great. And I think they're going to be the only ones that we're going to take. We could also take all healing and barriers received by travelers reduced by 50%. I might actually do that just to prove just how strong this run actually can be. And then most cooldown reduction effects are weakened. So when reducing cooldowns with memory haste and memory upgrades, cooldowns now converge to 50% their base value instead of 0 seconds. Effects that reduce it. We probably won't use that because I do quite like the idea of lots of cooldowns. So I think we've got enough there. And then in terms of obliterations, so this is where you can have things that you don't really want in the run. I find that having essences that you don't want can kind of make a run a bit harder than it needs to be. So I've got max obliterations. You won't have that, obviously, when you first start, if you've only just started playing this game. But I do advise to unlock these ASAP because it can make a run easier to get to the build that you want. So we're going to run through this real quick. So this memory deals 25% increased damage to enemies affected by cold, slow root or stun. We're not planning on doing that. We will obviously be doing some cold damage, so we could benefit from that, but I don't really care about it. When we fall, we sacrifice quality of this essence instead of actually dying. Don't care about that. Every 8 seconds, the memory is cast empowered. Obviously don't care about that. Casting the memories increase your critical chance for 15%, 5 seconds. This effect ends if you take damage from enemies. We're in the fight, so I actually do like this one, but because we're kind of in the battle quite a bit with Bismuth, once we get stronger, this will just constantly keep resetting, so I don't really like it. Casting this memory, again, we're not doing dark damage typically, but if we do get other really strong dark essences, we'll take it, but this one's not that strong. Upon casting this memory, your ability power is increased for 5 seconds, and if this memory is an ultimate, then it increases cooldown. We're not planning on using ultimates too heavily. Dealing light damage reduces memory cooldown by 4%. can be pretty good. It's not actually a bad one, to be fair, but I'm not interested in it. Cast this memory, release a burst of cold. Not planning on doing cold. On hit, this memory has 0.6% chance to execute non-boss enemies. It's really low, so unless you get this really, really high, like executing enemies is not really a big deal when it don't work on bosses. And then every 4 seconds, casting the memory is empowered, dealing fire damage to enemies. Yeah, we're not really that bothered. Anything that has like a set amount of time that you can't reduce to proc, I typically don't really like those types of builds. They can work, obviously, on characters. And just to be really, really clear, the stuff that I'm saying here that I'm not going to use, it's not me saying it's not good. There's so many things in Shape of Dreams that works. There's so many things that you don't think should work that do work, that honestly, there's no right or wrong answer, really. It's just preference. It's literally just your preference. So, yeah. Obviously, you can see my my mug shot in the reflection. And just while we're waiting for this to load, I did actually have a special screen on the Lenovo that kind of stopped reflections, but it makes it look so ugly. So that's why I don't have that. All right, take a breather. So cool, we've got the floored our story from our ability. So we're not going to put that on first, because if you remember, the first essence that we pick up gets a bonus. So we want to make sure that we pick up the Deja Vu one. So we're going to put that on, and that's obviously going to activate. So now it's at 230% quality, which means we get more gold. So you don't increase the essence quality every single round, you just increase the gold on that one. So we won't plan on using any more resource on that. 24 gold every single time we move is plenty. And then obviously we've got the book, so we can put the book wherever, it doesn't really matter. Next up then, so we've got our first Seed of Torment. So this is where we were talking about where you can potentially get some of those mirages on there, but that will obviously only get converted to an armor mirage. So all monsters gain 60% attack speed for this world, and we get a legendary chaos. I actually think that's pretty good, to be fair, so let's go for that. And then we will go, so we've got increase the quality of an essence, increase attack damage. I'm actually going to say go health, because we've got a lot of healing already as part of our passives. And obviously the mobs are going to have a lot of attack speed, so let's make sure that we don't die. And again, even with that buff, we're only at 570 health, so we're very, very squishy on this build. So yeah, in terms of like map movement, I know that that can be quite a confusing sort of thing to think about, obviously, when you're moving around. Typically, if there's icons on a place, you really want to go for those where you can, because they're going to have benefits for you to make your run easier. But if there's anything that kind of jumps out, like specifically, then I'll call those out as we go through the run. So as you can see at the moment, obviously we've got plenty of health, and we're easily dispatching these mobs, and I should hope so on the first stage, let's be honest. So, but they have got a lot of attack speed, so we don't want to take the mick out of them. They have got a huge bonus, but remember that some of those bonuses from the start can be permanent. This is only just for this world. So what we got here is, we've got cast this memory removes all element. Don't care about that. When this memory deals cold damage, deals cold equal to 10% of your maximum health. No. And then while in combat, gaining the shield heals health equal to 12% of the shield amount. This memory heal. I mean, they're all pretty rubbish, but we'll take that for now. We'll just put it under the main ability. Cool. So we're going to go left, because we're trying to get as many spaces as we can. As we move along, let's just take a little bit of a negative there. Get some more gold. See how our healing goes. Yeah, so we're healing pretty well, to be fair. We'll probably take another one. And again, like I said, because this build is just so free, we just earn. We just make the run a lot easier, because we're only having to focus on our positioning. Well, we're not doing any shields yet, so we're not actually benefiting from that. But we're upgrading it anyway, which means it'll be worth more when we come to get rid of it. One thing actually I did wrong there as well earlier is when I moved this book, I should have just put it there, because we would have increased the quality. I think in my mind, the reason why I didn't do that is because I don't want the book to level up faster than it needs to. It's obviously passively increasing quality. So that was probably my thought process if you did spot that. We'll just see what's going to be on that space. I don't usually like backtracking if I can help it, especially when we know that we've got someone's hatred can be felt here, which means that's probably going to be some sort of like elite monster. So I think I'm actually just not going to even... What you don't know, don't hurt ya. So let's just ignore that space and let's head down to what we know is good. Okay, we've actually got an elite here as well. Now, luckily, we are getting health every time we hit. We just need to be a little bit careful here because we are very close to dying. Okay, we're good. So those books that we were talking about earlier, they're now coming in. So we've got increased armor. We've got increased... Is that increased armor again? Okay. Cast's memory release, the shockwave. Cold damage from you and stuns them. I mean, that's fine. It's better than nothing. And we've got another chaos. So attack speed, definitely want to go for that. Again, we said this is an attack speed build. And again, if we go for our main identity memory, then we're going to keep increasing our attack speed as well. So we definitely want to go for that. This is probably a good time to get rid of anything that you don't want. So we're not benefiting from that yet because we don't do shields. So we'll get rid. And we'll do another upgrade here. And then the other one I think is fine for now. Although to be fair, no, that's fine. We'll keep that one. All right. Unclaimed. Oh, I didn't see that. Leap backwards and do bombs. That's fine. It's going to auto cast anyway, so it's going to be pinging us around a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, we do need to be really careful here because I think I've been a little bit greedy. Building health. Oh, there we go. That's cool. We just leveled up, so that's nice. Nice chunk of health. Yeah, we're not really benefiting from that essence because it's casting, but we don't really want anything to be near us anyway. So we'll go for intense hatred. So it's not bad. Lose gold when taking damage from enemies. Not terrible, but it's not great. Yeah, let's get rid of this. We don't need that. Okay, I will put this over here just because it is building this. It kind of goes against what I just said. But I think I'm just going to commit. Might as well build up. It feels bad, like not getting any quality on it. Especially if we get an opportunity later to reduce quality. For a better benefit. Okay, this is a 3-round curse as well, which is not ideal. So we are going to lose a bit of gold here. Yeah, having the evade with the bombs isn't actually that bad this early on. Not sure if I want to be dashing into mobs automatically, so we'll get rid of that. We've got the hunters closing in fast. Yeah, you see, like, where I just sort of backed into the wall there. That's where the automatic casting can be a little less than ideal. But it's just a placeholder memory anyway, so we're not that bothered. Cool. We're getting a lot of armor, to be fair, from the books, which is great. So we've got health, attack damage, armor, and haste. Haste is not too bad, to be fair, because we'll just fire more missiles. But I do think, given we're attacking fast and we want to get health back, later on when we get to the final boss, we really want to make sure that we've got a big health pool so that if we do get hit, we can actually take a few hits before just insta-dying. So I will go with health here. Casting Spin removes. Okay, it's giving us that again, which is whatever. So what we'll do is we'll just, because we want to build up an essence, I'll just put that there. Increase the level of memory by 1, increase maximum health, increase the quality of an essence, increase attack damage. Again, we're just going to go health. There's nothing wrong in going tanky. We've already got a lot of passives that are really, really helping us out, that give us a lot of health. So I just say we just lean into that for now. Giving us pressure point again. Cool. So we go there, and then the hunters. All right. Cool. I tend to avoid hunters early because there is an essence that you can get that can make fighting hunters a lot easier and actually build up strength, which is what you want. So I tend to kind of wait out for that as much as possible. And if it does come up, I typically take it. Hunters aren't as scary as you might think. You just need to avoid some of the big AoE. But if you're not looking out for it, then yeah, it can feel like the AoE from the hunters sections, especially when you get to like level 4, level 5. It does sometimes feel like 1 minute you're alive and then the next minute you're dead. So it's very much about avoiding some of the big AoE. 5 seconds, I was getting attack damage increased by total source health. That's fine. I don't mind a bit of attack damage, and we can put it over here now. Cool. One more space, and then to the first boss. It's usually pretty easy. Lots of green numbers coming up. We're literally not really in any danger, to be honest, which is nice. And I think if you've only just recently unlocked Bismuth, or you've not tried her, or there might be some stuff that I have that you don't have, it doesn't mean that the run won't work. There is a lot in the base kit that can still make this run work. It's just a lot of the stuff that I've picked just making the run a lot easier, especially on harder difficulties. But even if you just ran her basic and tried to go for attack speed on the easiest difficulty, or even the second difficulty, I'd be very surprised if you wasn't successful, unless you had the most unluckiest run ever. But even when we're getting hit, I mean, our health is just literally going straight back up. Not in any danger at all. You can mostly just do circles around this guy as well. You can avoid some of the hits. Just we get armor, attack speed, and memory haste. Very nice. 3 level up, so we're just going to go for our passive ability. Probably my least favourite area. Okay, that gold's rubbish. All monsters permanently gain 50% attack speed for a rare memory. Very rubbish. For this world, increase the chance of monsters spawning with Mirage skin by 40%. That's fine. 4 platinum coins is actually quite strong, because that can give you a chance to re-roll, especially when you've got an excess of money. Right. Okay. Yeah, we could go shop, then come down and sort of go to the right, hit all of those nodes. Let's see what we've got in the shop. Okay, those sentries are so rubbish. I don't think I've actually seen them do anything. But do you know what? For just the lulz, I might actually just try and build into it. What else we got here? The lower the health, shorter the cooldown is memory when your health is 50%. The cooldown is... That's not bad. Don't really want to convert it to... Lightning's pretty good as well. I say we sell bombs. We don't need that. And we go for lightning. And the towers just for extra distraction. They're actually new. I think they've been recently added. So they're all right. They're not great. They're going to get like plopped down really quickly because of the auto attacking. So at least we don't have to manage them at all. Going to take some negatives there on the health. Even though we've got elites in here. Thing is, do we go super greedy and go for the 55% health? Oh, I say we go for it. Could regret that decision. Probably going to end up hitting hunters here because we're being a little bit on the greedy side, I think. We'll see how we get on. Now, the good thing is, like I said, we're able to really just focus in on the AoE on the floor. So, because everything's been so auto-attack for us, it's basically automatic. I'm mostly just looking at all of the AoE or the hit markers that are on the floor that you see popping up and saving my dashes mostly for them. Because they'll be the things that will get you killed, especially on a harder run. And even more so when you're being greedy with the gold that you get from the sacrifice health. But I don't think we're really in any danger there, to be honest. Go for the intense hatred. Reduce attack speed when taking damage. Okie dokie. It's really upsetting me that we're not getting many attack speeds on the chaoses, but we'll just keep going for health. Because I don't ever think you can go wrong with tankiness. And probably at this point, I would go with memory haste. Let's do that. We've got attack speed increase. Nice. And then casting this memory increase attack speed by 25%. So whichever casts the fastest, which is going to be that. So we'll do that. And then what we'll do is for 5 seconds after casting memory, attack damage increased by 50% resources. So that's pretty good, but I don't think it's better than just flat attack speed. So we want that superior sense of adventure, just constantly upgrading the quality of that. And we'll take that book, which has increased our attack damage. Nice. Let's come back down. Probably going to hit hunters. That's fine. We're in a bit of a pickle here. Lots of damage. I don't think we're in any danger here. Yeah, this one's really, really good. So when this memory hits an enemy, gain a barrier for 9 that lasts 2 seconds. If it deals cold damage, this effect increased by 8%. And we've got a chance to hit cold. So that's really, really strong. If we manage to get the cooldown lowered on this significantly, this is going to be huge. So at this point, given that we've got that essence, I would eventually will slowly start to move away from constantly upgrading my identity memory, which is obviously here. So I'd probably get that to like 10, and that would get me about 100% attack speed, maybe just a little bit over, and then I'd start moving into upgrading this specific adventurous pure soul. So that would be what I'd go for. That's not bad. Let's go for the treasure chest because our money's pretty good. Hopefully it's not to the left. Okay, it's on the way, so that's great. And we've literally one space away from hunters, so we're in a good position. We just got the increase on attack speed, which is nice. Yeah, any leftover that I have on essence, I'll probably start pumping into the our main ability. Just extra damage. We'll take that. Let's go for a bit of haste. Yeah, I think... Oh no, I don't think that's better than what we got. I don't plan on keeping the lightning anyway. It's literally just there as a placeholder. I typically try to go for things that can keep us alive. So usually like some sort of unstoppable ability or something that can make us jump or dash a little bit is usually what I tend to gravitate towards. We're just using the towers just because I haven't actually really used them in a build yet. See whether we can make them good in any way. Let's go up just to see what's going to be on that top node that we can't see. And more attack speed increase, that's what we like to see. Better than the one we've already got. Nope. Let's pray to see what else we can get. I don't hate it. We can still keep going. I don't mind that. That's going to increase our health every time we trigger it. And it's only once every 5 seconds. And because it's random what elements that we're going to deal, I think that's probably going to work out okay for us. We'll see. We can check it. We can actually see how much it's buffed us by later on. Just get hit by that, but I think we're still alright. That's cool. Movement speed and memory haste when we take damage. 20% attack speed. Lovely old job. How much did it increase us on that floor? So we actually got an extra 3 permanent max health just from that one floor. On that, that's actually pretty good. If we get one that can convert anything to gold, sorry, to cold, that will probably be worth it just to convert it all to cold. Yeah, we haven't got allies with us, so we don't really care about that. Don't think we care about that. If we don't go to the shop, then we're going to lose it because the shop owner will go if the hunters hit that spot, so we have to go for it. Cast another memory using dodge grants 1 thunderstack up to 6 times. Casting this memory consumes all thunderstack, calling down lightning on nearby enemies. That's not actually terrible, to be fair. Just extra damage, which is fine because we've gone for so much health. We probably want the extra damage. The barrier's pretty good as well, though. Let's do a little refresh, see what else we can get. I do really like that leap into the air. And then again, it gives us critical strike chance for by 40%. And we did say that we were looking for some crits. I actually think that's going to be way better than these little light beams. Sorry, boys. Cool. Just another refresh. Oh, we got the egg twice. That's pretty cool. When an enemy damaged by this memory is killed within 2 seconds, they drop 1.3 gold. Not bad. Gone for the increased gold there. That's now bumped up to 27. So for 5 seconds, attack damage increased by. Yeah, that's cool. We don't need that. We don't need that. That was a place order. Might as well go up. Always try and get on as many pads as you can because it's just all extra experience. I know this game can actually feel quite long. Like a run on this game is like insanely long. So it can sometimes feel like you just want to get to the boss and move on. But I would highly suggest discouraging you from doing that because you might lose some opportunity to get more resources. Alright, off to boss number 2. This boss is pretty easy, to be fair. There's a little mirage thing that you need to be careful of later on in the fight. But he is melting. From what I can see. To the right. Oh, he actually does a bit of damage, doesn't he? Yeah, so he'll come in and then as he phases out, just literally just dash as soon as he appears. He does do quite a bit of damage. Look, we'll take a hit. Ah, okay, he doesn't. It does a little bit. Bit of dark stacks. But I don't think we're in any danger at all. On some runs he can hit you, depending on how the run's gone, and it can actually hurt quite a bit. So we're still gonna go for the highest one on the free. So the highest amount that you've upgraded is what I'd suggest using your free upgrade on. So we're now on to World 3. Oh, heroic bosses gain the special. Some of these skills, I actually don't know what they do. But we don't really need more platinum coins. Pretty content with the build, so that's not worth it. All monsters gain 40% max health for this world, but we get a ton of dream dust and permanently increases. So I'm probably going to go with that one because it's only temporary. And I'm not worried about 40% health on monsters. So you can hear echoes tangled in this place. I don't think we need to go. Oh, we'll give it a go. Let's have a little look. I can't remember which the yin yang symbol one is. I don't think I'll be using it. So is Altar of Cleansing. Yeah. So this is one where you can kind of reset the quality, and again, we could do that here because we still got quite a long way to go. So we could reduce the quality there and get 310 dream dust, which is huge. So we're going to do that. So I think that's worth it. And I think this was the first time I actually saw this the other day with a friend, and my mate did it. I'm not going to use this. I think it converts some of your power from your other non-identity, so non-character specific abilities. But I don't really have any interest in using this, so I'm gonna skip. And let's just go back on ourselves and get moving. So typically, like when I look at like a fork in the road in terms of what I could go for, again, we can see that at least 2 nodes here are pants. So I'm actually going to go up, and then if we want to, we can come down and come back around. So let's go up, see what we've got up here. This memory deals more damage at the target's health, decrease up to 45% when their health is 20%. It's actually not that bad, to be fair. When this memory deals culture, we've already got that, so that's just a buff to that. It's probably better, actually. And we can have a little look. So it just increased the damage on that, which is fine. So far, we have earned 45 extra health from that. So that's actually a pretty good stack there. We've gone to the right because I'm not going to go to empty nodes if we've got the hunters going to be close on our tail once we go down and back up again. So I'll just skip the empty nodes. At the moment, we're in absolutely no danger whatsoever. We need a dash attack. Alright, so I'm not going to go up and back on myself. I suppose the hunters haven't even started yet. They're about to move now, aren't they? So, go on then. I will say this build is very chill, especially with Bismuth. But it's nice though, like especially if you just want to, you know, beat runs, build up your deja vus, and have a bit more of a relaxed kind of run, then Bismuth is definitely the way to go. But I wouldn't say that it's the most engaging character. Attack speed builds, especially if it's auto casting, really is going to be the absolute bare bones effort required from you. But a win's a win, right? I don't think we need to turn that into a dark ability. We've got some attack speed. That's good. Oh, we don't need to fire. Yeah, I could have took that just for extra damage, but I don't need it. We're balling at the moment. We're doing good. 2 of the special shops back to back. That's interesting. We don't need to do bite. We don't mind the treasure chest. What's the last one? The Layla Hunter's tracking by 2 turns. That's actually really good, but I'm not really that bothered about them at this stage. So we won't bother taking that. Get some extra stardust. Oh, we got a shop. Nice. And again, we don't mind moving around. Like, we obviously do want to hit as many spaces as we can because we're always trying to get that superior essence of adventure, constantly giving us an extra 10%. And again, I think one of these started off like 30% and maybe the other one was somewhere around that. And you can see now it's at 180 and 120. So it's just passively buffing us every single time we go around. This memory gains haste and cooldown really strong. We definitely want that. And I don't think we care about any of these. Nope. No. See what else we can get. Staff falls, pretty good. See what else. Each time this memory hits an enemy, your attack speed increases by 9% for 3 seconds up to a maximum of 9%. If it deals dark damage, it can increase up to a maximum of 38%. So if we see the memory for dark now, then that is going to be really good because, again, we're always trying to buff attack speed. So if we can get more of that, then that's great. That'll probably be a pretty good full build. This isn't, well, it's doing critical strike chance, but I don't know if it's proccing any of this. So taking any damage grants this memory 25 and movement speed, so that's fine. And then casting this memory removes all enemy effects by the travel heal 69 for each. I don't think we really care about that, so let's get rid of that. We want it to have a cooldown and haste reduction so that we can cast it more often. So 5 seconds, obviously making us invincible and giving us that crit hit chance. So I think putting the cooldown there is wise. Now, for anyone that's interested in unlocking the last character, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I've only literally just unlocked him myself. But when you're on this map specifically, you can activate these, right? These alter impermanence. That's how you pronounce it. I probably butchered that. And what you'll do is when you actually hit that, there'll be like a random... Usually there's like a random mark that will spawn on the map. Not always, but should spawn. Which I don't think this one has done it. It might be because I've already got it. But usually you'll get like a red glow orb that will spawn. And it will follow you. So you'll see like a red orb following you. Like how the book's following me, but instead of red orb. And essentially once you have 3 of those, you can speak to a guy that's laying down on the stairs right near the boss. And if you feed him all 3 of them, he'll then unlock the character for you. I didn't know that for a really, really long time. So, yeah, if you haven't unlocked him and you were wondering how you unlock him, that's how you do it. But yeah, apologies, can't remember his name while we're on this run. I probably should have gone down and then up, but for the sake of time, I'm probably just going to go to the right. We actually did quite a bit of damage then. You're dropping lots of stuff. Attack speed is priority for this build. Anything else is just nice to have. So we'll go memory haste. Don't need teleport AoE. Don't need that. That's actually not that bad, to be fair. Every 4th basic attack becomes empowered, unleashing lightning that bounces between enemies, dealing light damage up to 2 times for every 20% critical strike chance. The maximum number of hits increased by 1. It's okay. It's probably better than removing elements, 'cause I'm not trying to get hit by elements. So we'll come down and we'll try and get some more nodes before we go back up towards the boss. Healing could be a little bit quicker. Now I've seen myself take some damage. But again, the mobs have got that extra health that we took from that curse at the start. Oh, just took quite a bit of damage there. We'll take that because that's an improvement over what we got. Ah, so there it is. So the orb has actually come this time when we spawned that. So yeah, that was the red orb that I was talking about earlier that kind of follows you around. Can be quite useful to obviously get those free. It's a bit random on what nodes it spawns on. People have theories that it spawns on certain nodes, but I've just found it to be very, very random. It's usually when there's that tower. So if that tower is on the map, then, or in that node that you're in, then you're likely to find the sort of red orb that accommodates it. Right. Yeah, we'll get that memory haste one. So we'll just combine it. Is it good? Cool. We're going to hit 1 level of hunters, which is fine. Level 1's pretty easy. Imagine if I died now after I just said that. Oh. And a finishing blow on Thunder Tigers with lightning 25 times. Happy days. We managed to convert that lightning to dark. That will be a really strong ability for extra attack speed, which will be really good. Now I'll probably close off that memory. Alright, off to the boss. It's been a fairly breeze of a run, to be fair. So yeah, this guy geezer here, you can obviously talk to him. I can only give him 2, so I'm not going to get it. But if you give him 3, then yeah, you'll unlock the character, which is good. Now this boss can actually be quite difficult. There's a few things that happen with this boss, really strange. There's a few things that can happen. So this one, if you don't have some sort of dodge or evade outside of your normal like dodge, then yeah, this boss can be quite difficult. Just because there is some elements of the fight where you can't attack him, he's invulnerable, so you won't be able to get any health increase or anything. But all my health comes from when I'm doing damage, so as you can see at the moment I'm not gaining any health, so it's really important that we don't get hit. We just got to get in these circles when this happens. Oh, and make sure you keep your dashes. Just if you go into the circles, that'll keep you alive. Ooh. Also, the center does a lot of damage too, so I would refrain from staying in that if you can. Usually like 2 phases on this. Not sure if it's done it. Sometimes you can get a boss that does like these kind of like line attacks, and I would say that that's much harder than this version. And then other times you can even get 2 of the bosses that spawn. I know in my last run I got 2. I actually got an achievement for it as well. That was quite difficult. That version was quite easy. If you get the ones where you get the domes, then that's pretty manageable, to be fair. So we've got one more world, and then it's into the final boss. So again, like I said, these are not quick runs by any means. All monsters gain 50% attack speed for this world. Just get an epic essence, I think it's worth it. All monsters apparently gain attack 10% movement speed. I don't mind movement speed because that just means they just come to me quicker, and I quite like the idea of more dream dust to get stronger. Let's go to the shop first and we'll work our way up. See what we can get. I say this is going to be the last one before we go to the main boss. Yeah, I actually like that one. Well, we can get all 3 of them, to be fair. We don't even have to choose. I would have liked my shield to be a bit better. Like my build up of shield, but it's just kind of not worked out that way so far. But we're attacking so fast that we're constantly hopping around, so which is really good. So I don't think with the book that I'm going to reduce it for essence this time. We might not even get the book done, so we might have actually screwed ourselves over a little bit. But we can upgrade it manually ourselves if we need to when we get close to the end. So if that's something that we need to do, then we can. No, I don't plan on sacrificing anything. See what we got here. Yeah, that's cool. Just get that haste cooldown reduction for the hop memory. Again, don't like ones that are specific to 8 seconds this or 5 seconds that. It's a really long time. So unless you specifically build around them, don't think they're worth it. Or health. Don't need that. Let's go to the right. I don't want to hit too many hunters on the last run. I don't think there's really too much at the moment. Given we've got such a good health pool, I don't feel like there's much that's giving us much danger. Doing good damage. We've got high crit chance from the somersaulting. Could be an argument where rather than having lightning, we'd go for a different, like another kind of passive to keep us alive, but pretty content with what we've got, I think. Don't need that. Don't need that. Obtain a random epic memory or epic essence. Hopefully we get something good. Oh, this memory is on cooldown. 40% damage is split over 4 seconds. And the split damage is reduced by 20%. I actually don't hate that. But what are we going to get rid of for it? We're getting a lot of gold now. I don't think I really care about gold on kill. So I think that's too good not to have. I think I would have preferred it if it was on lightning, because lightning's got such a long cooldown. So I think that can probably be anywhere. I think we're going to go like that. That reduction in damage, like splitting it, is huge, especially when you take big hits. Gives you a chance to kind of bring your health back a little bit. Oh, when you kill an enemy, the cooldown. See that? This is pretty good, but it's not good for bosses. The other one that you get is when you do attacks. That one's huge. I will take this, but it's not going to be good on a boss, so we'll have to get rid of it then. So I think every 4th attack becomes empowered, unleashing lightning that bounces between enemies, dealing 19 damage up to 2 times for every 20% critical shot. So I don't think we really care too much about that. I don't think that's going to be better than cooldown. The thing is, the reason why I want to put that on here is because every single time we attack with this ability, right, or we kill something, then this is going to get reduction in cooldown, which means it's going to fire more, which means there's more chance of it to proc us getting a bigger health pool. So that's a big win. We can come down to the shop here, and I think we just kind of go down 1 to the right and then back up. Probably going to hit maybe 1 or 2 levels of hunters. Let's see what this has got. So increased healing. It's pretty good, to be fair. Don't know where we're going to fit it. And then we've got number of charges memory increased by 1 bit. Each 100% increases the quality. It's not terrible. But I think we need more charges, to be honest. Saying that though, if we were to put it on here. have to get rid of the book, and that needs to be somewhere. But that potentially could have been pretty good on the thing, because you're attacking so fast, you just build it up again. Okay. Let's go up. Let's go down to the right and back up. And we're going to hit a few nodes of hunters, but we want to try and get as much... Try and proc that cooldown as much as possible. Again, won't be no good for the final fight, so we'll have to get rid of it. Care about that. I'm probably going to go with some armor, you know. Can never have too much armor. We'll just go for the highest one and dismantle it, because we don't need any of those. That's, yeah, the flawed essence of predation. That would have actually been really good if we got that a lot earlier. It's really late to get it now. So I don't think we're going to go for that. Okay. Let's go here. And then we're going to have to hit one node of hunter and then off to the boss. Release a powerful sneeze. I don't think so. Although I can't help but think there must be something that's actually pretty good there that I just don't know about. Memory deals temperatures. Right, so I'm actually going to go with this increased max health one and probably get rid of the cooldown now, because we're just not going to benefit from that once we hit the boss. So as much as it pains me to get rid of it, I'm going to do it, because we're going to get more damage on that specific memory based off of our health. So that's going to be worth it. And it really wants to give us that pressure point this game. I think that's like the third time we've seen it now. Could be the fourth. Definitely at least 3 times. Alright, over to the boss. This guy's usually pretty easy, to be fair. Not really anything too special about him. I actually didn't dodge that one very well. Yeah, so just for anyone that doesn't know, you can either go somewhere deeper, which basically means restarting the whole run again and continue everything you got, but that does make the boss harder and have more health, or you can go straight away to Rift at the beginning. There are a few times when we've gone round, but honestly, unless you get something like insanely powerful, I find that it's not really worth it. So we're just going to quickly check our book to see how we got on with that. So I think that's actually done it. Yeah, quality 510%. So that's done. That's completed. We have managed to get that. So that's good. In terms of what we want now, so we're not actually going to get anything more from Superior Essence of Adventure. So if we do get an opportunity to get rid of that, we probably should. So we've got the increased haste cooldown, so we'll definitely get that. There's 3% to ricochet. No. It does more damage to target's health. Decrease up to... So that's probably pretty good. So we can get rid of this now. And we'll just get rid of that for essence. Oh, I just got the wrong one. We'll get that. So that can go there. No, not that one, because that's pants. One that we actually want can go there. Yep, there we go. And then if we could buy anything else, then we would have just bought it to just get extra essence, but we can't. So that's cool. We're at a 250%. So I think at this point we can just do 1 on that. And then that's already at 3.4, 3.2, 3.1, 2.9. I think that's worth it. And then the rest in here. So we've got 8 on there, 24 on our identity memory. And then we're going to be hopping quite a lot. I think that's pretty much all of our resources, to be honest. Oh, the only other thing that we could do... No. No, we don't want to transcend anything. That's okay. We could do that if there was anything, but we've got this bad, but there isn't, so that's fine. All right, well, let's go into the boss then and see how we get on. We don't need any health, so... If I go quiet, it's because there's quite a bit to focus on, specifically in stage 2. I'd say more than stage 3, but this boss can be quite hard. It took me a while to beat him. I think I probably failed at least 15 times before I kind of really figured out how to beat him. When I was looking at forums online, people were saying how he's really easy, and then other people like, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in a roguelite. So I would say that in general, this game is harder than your typical roguelite, but let's hope we beat this, because otherwise this video might be packaged real different if we don't beat it. So the first stage is usually fairly easy, so you just kind of want to avoid these damage, these slices if you can. Obviously we're saving our dashes as much as we can. Obviously we're hopping a lot, and that ability is extremely strong. We just want to avoid any AoE that he does here while he's untargetable. Obviously we're only going to get health back when we're attacking, so we need to be really mindful of that, and we're only getting shields when we're hitting him, and that doesn't proc when he's in his invulnerable state. So like now when we're hitting him, it's not doing anything. Obviously it goes without saying on stage 2, just make sure you're not near any of the platforms that he's getting rid of. So all you need to do is just avoid his AoE. That's the only thing we care about. It's the only thing I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else, just the AoE on the ground. So you kind of want to stay fairly near him, but not so close to him that you can get hit by his AoE that he does in himself. Try not to get hit, obviously, by those laser shots. I sort of go around in a clockwise fashion. And soon he's going to go invulnerable again, and he's going to do lots of different fireballs. So there's a bit of a pattern to his attack there. Well, he actually did it 3 times in the same space. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, cool. So now he's going to go invulnerable, and what's going to happen is you need to be careful of these fireballs, right? Because they do a lot of damage. So I usually go to like the furthest point and then just dash when I can. Obviously, we need to get away from those. The further that you are away from them, the easier it is to dash past them. So if we come all the way down to the end here and then just dash through them. We got hit a couple of times there, unfortunately. Just dash. There we go. And there we go. Now we can get through to him. And hopefully if you can blast him down quick enough, you don't have to go through that phase again. So we're doing pretty good damage here, to be fair. So I don't think we're going to have to worry too much. And again, that hopping ability that we've got is really doing a lot of work. Like, it's insane how much work that does. So we're just got to be careful of the slices because they do a lot of damage. He's got a big shield here. It's hard for me to dash because I'm hopping so much, which is making me invulnerable. So that's actually doing a lot of the work, to be fair. As long as I keep hitting him, it's reducing the cooldown so quick. Now, these attacks that he does, they hurt. So you really, especially the ones that are doing the circular motions on the floor, they really hurt. But I think we're going to be fine. And there we have it. On Nightmare difficulty. I would say that we probably weren't in any danger there whatsoever. So nothing to worry about. The glorious walk of victory. But I hope that this run helps. If there's like more runs and stuff that you want us to do, I'll do it. I'll potentially do it. Obviously, you can see my setup's very unique here. But it's clean audio coming out of Lenovo, so hopefully it's pretty unique. I don't have a dedicated PC at the moment, so just trying to record content the best way that I can. And I play a lot of my games on handheld, so even though I've used an external controller in this run, this is my preferred method, using handhelds. But yeah, ended the Pure White Dream 2 times without using the Shrine of Guidance. So that's the health shrine there, so we didn't use that, so happy days. And there you have it. So we did just over 2 million damage. You can see that obviously we did a ton of self-healing, so we did like 17,000. And we took quite a bit of damage, and we were really tanky as well, so we went for quite a tanky build. And the attacks per second without buffs were at 4.2. So we were like attacking like 4 times. So the book was going absolutely wild. And we didn't have like crazy high ability power or attack damage, to be honest. We just had really good health, not bad defense, good haste, and really focused in on that attack speed. So yeah, it was a good run. Look, again, like I said, I really struggled with the last boss on this. It took me ages to figure out how to beat him. So I'm really hoping that this run just gives you a bit of an idea and how to probably do it in the easiest way. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, this was a super easy build. There wasn't loads to focus on. I will say that another character that I'd probably look at doing next was Vesper. Me and my mate, we'd only beat this once and we'd really struggled, and then we both did a Vesper run, and honestly I couldn't believe how insanely easy it was. Like, obviously we were still in a little bit of danger with Bismuth. Like, if we were taking the mick or getting hit loads, we potentially could have died. I kid you not, as Vesper, we literally could just face him, like face tank him. It was so easy. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna shut up waffling. Give me some feedback, let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. This video was sponsored by absolutely nobody.